Hi, last weekend I watched a documentary, Will and Harper, about Will Ferrell, the much loved American comedy actor and comedian, traveling across country with his old friend Harper Steele. Harper has recently undergone gender reassignment and is now living as a woman, and this took many of her friends by surprise when she announced it via email. Will, in particular, was not really sure what to do in order to support his friend of decades standing. They both joined Saturday Night Live the same week in 1995. They bonded over having the same sense of humor and they'd worked together numerous times over the years. But now there was this new challenge to their relationship. Will wanted to be supportive, to give Harper everything she needed, and as a result, this road trip was organized, driving cross country from New York to Los Angeles, allowing Harper to experience many of the places that she had known when she was a man, or was living as a man, I should say, but through this new context and seeing how these environments, these truck stops and bars and back streets he that she, sorry, was known to frequent in her previous life, would take to her new persona, her new self. The result is very interesting and very engaging. It's a story of their friendship that Will gives her unwavering support, but often doesn't know how to express that or what is the right thing to do in a particular circumstance. There's a scene where they go to a huge steakhouse in Texas, and they both anticipate this is going to be difficult, that there will be prejudice there. And Will tries to break the tension, break the ice, by going dressed as Sherlock Holmes. And he thinks this will diffuse things. It's, I will take the attention as it being a joke. Instead, there's a huge amount of social media coverage that is flat out transphobic and abusive, both to Will for simply being there, but in particular for Harper, and it's horrifically dehumanizing. But they also encounter positive environments. They meet a late in life transitioning trans woman in Peoria, and Harper sees much of his story reflected in hers. Even in a bar in Oklahoma, after a few slip ups over pronouns, one good old boy is very happy to chat and mentions that, although he doesn't know any trans people, he does have friends who are bisexual. So he's more open-minded than one might expect in that environment, and the result is a pleasant evening for everyone. But it's a story of their friendship and allyship, of what those of us outside the LGBT group can do to support our friends and our neighbours and our relatives who might be going through difficult circumstances, particularly with the ongoing tide of transphobic abuse and bigotry that we see online in much of the Anglosphere these days. It's a very thoughtful, moving, sincere film. It does have a lot of humour in it. Will try and crack jokes, and there's a running gag where he whines and complains that he just wants to do something for himself. He just wants to do something that he wants to do on the trip, which is visit Dunkin' Donuts. And during the end credits, we see outtakes of Will and Harper having various days out and excursions, and driving on go-karts and visiting places, and other elements of their trip. It's an important film of its time. It's a film, I think, that needs to be seen widely because it's about the experience of being trans in the modern world and the experience of knowing and loving someone who is trans, and what you can do to support them, what you can do to help them and make any difficulties that they have from that, try and ease that. Will does what he can. It's not always the right thing, it's not always the best thing, but he tries constantly to take the heat out of situations. When Harper goes into a bar alone, he says, okay, if you need me to come in, call me, and I will immediately absorb all the attention because I'm Will Ferrell, the big movie star. He always tries to do his best. It doesn't always work. It doesn't always be the right thing, but I think it's an important story of what we need to do to help others and what others are going through, and for trans viewers to show that their story is being told, that their story is being considered and understood as much as we can, as much as we can try. It's absolutely an important film for today. I would recommend it very highly. I'd recommend showing it widely. It's extremely good.